Okay, so we are still talking about whole numbers. Today we're talking about comparing and ordering numbers to 1 million. And so we're going to have to talk about place value again. So let me pull up place value matters, and we're going to compare in the place values. So today, let's remind, the ones column is first, then tens, then hundreds, then thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. And so to compare and order numbers, you basically want to line things up. So again, I'm going to give you that trick if you want to turn your paper sideways and write your numbers so that you keep things in place value order. That might be helpful. Okay, so let's look at these two numbers. They're pretty similar. The first one is 34,025. The second one is 34,205. So we need to look at the place values starting from right to left. So in the right, we have 5. So those are the same. Then we bump over and we look at the next digit. We have a 0 on the bottom and a 2 on the top. Now, looking at that, you might think that the bottom number is smaller because it has a 0, but then we look at the next digit over. We have 205 on the bottom and just 25 on the top. There's no hundreds. And so when we look at these numbers, we need to compare what's in the hundreds place. And the bottom number has 200. The top number just has 0. If you covered over the rest of the numbers with your hand, and all that you were looking at, if you covered the 34 over with your hand and all that you're looking at is the 25 and the 205, you can see that the bottom number is going to be larger. So let's compare some numbers. All right, so we have a whole bunch of numbers here written. I'm going to look at this orange one over here on the top left first, and I'm going to read the number to you. 2,045 is greater than or less than 2,405. And if you're confused about those greater than, less than symbols, remember that the mouth is eating the bigger number. So the first one is exactly like the example that we just did. 45 is less than 405. So we need a less than symbol. Let's look at the next one. 1,098,284 greater than or less than 1,098,300. Okay, so up until the hundreds column, if we're reading from left to right, these numbers are the same. So you need to compare 284 to 300, and that's less than. So let's look at the next one, this yellow one over here on the right. 35,956. 33,956. Okay, so now we're looking from left to right, and in our thousands place, we have a 5 and we have a 3. So we need to determine that the first number is greater. Now down here on the bottom, this yellow one, I guess this one's yellow, that last one might have been peach. 2,314 or 2,300,000. So looking at those, the 2 million starts out the same. There's nothing in either of the thousands places. So that hundreds is what we're looking at. We're comparing 314 and 300. So of course, 314 is greater than. The next one, 45,098 or 40,098. So the 98 is the same. So now we must be looking at the 10,000s and the thousands place. 10,000s is the same. 5,000 is larger than 0. So the first number is greater than. 304,740 and 300,740. So 304 is in our thousands, our thousands period. We talked about that, the thousands period. And then 300. So 304 is greater than. All right, so we do the same thing when we order numbers. It says using what we know about naming numbers, place value, and comparing, we can order numbers now. So let's order this list of numbers from least to greatest. I'd like for you to write these down yourself. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at these numbers while I'm reading them. and you're going to try to order them on a piece of paper. Or maybe you can just think to yourself what order these are going to go in, and we'll see the answer in a minute. So let me read them to you. 56,098, 45,980, 56,900, 45,098, 56,908, and 45,000. So the very first thing that we should be doing is looking at what's in the tens, thousands, and thousands place. And so it looks like we have three numbers that have 45,000. So we're going to order those. So now we look at the hundreds place. The last number is just 45,000. So that's going to be our first number. Then we need to look and see what comes next. Looks like 98 is smaller than 980. So that's going to be next. And then we have our last 45,000. And then we look at the next numbers, and they all start with 56,000. So we're going to look at 56,000. And then it looks like we have a 98, which is no hundreds. So 98 comes next, then 900, then 908. So let's see if we have that correct. Awesome. So we have 45,000, no hundreds. Then we have 45,000, no hundreds with 98. Then we have 45,000 with a 980. And then we start our 56s. So we have 56,000, no hundreds, 98. 56,000, 900. 56,908. This will become easier to you if you keep lining things up. All right, so now you're going to practice ordering numbers on your